Got
a couple players rotating mid trying to get spawns there, though, and they're pretty close.
Alright, we're back.
Good spread so far from DiP. Looks like a big push coming in left here, though, from a couple of the one pump players.
Smiley, good place by Smiley to take a couple of the one pump players down. Solid defense by him, but Jackie, and also Jackie as well, gets a kill. So really DiP, all the kills going the way of DiP so far. Only 2 players on one pump actually have kills in the opening minute of this match so far.
Yeah, and unsurprising, that is Tom Grump and Emperor. Fjolnir picking one up as well, though.
And now one pump is encroaching on this side. Smiley and Jackie are still here to defend it. And Smiley's doing a good job, but Luke House with a very important kill to take him down.
Interesting. Usually we see the
entry.
Oh, actually, it looks like they get shut down a little bit there.
They did get killed, but it is worth noting that there is really nobody on this flank for DiP. So even though they got a bunch of kills, one pump is still able to take advantage of the fact that there's virtually nobody here. Mondo Leader is making his way into this position here. Now just entering into the trench.
Yeah, getting that little cheeky foothold spot in that bush. Looks like he's gonna try and push though. So they've got plenty of time. They don't have to worry about that.
Good kill by Bojangles to take him down. Another nice jump shot by Bojangles on the Tom. So those are, again, I saw this in the Vosh game as well from him. Bojangles already at 10 kills. Crimson
10
at 7.
to 1 for Bojangles. That's ridiculous. Looking to get some more on the right hand side.
Yes,
yeah, Bojangles really the man of the match so far. I mean, Crimson and Smiley also doing very well for themselves. Both with 7 kills.
Mondo Leader with a nice push there on the Bojangles to take him down, and now finally for one pump they get something a little more pertinent.
He gets taken out so he can't spawn his teammates.
He does start to come in for one pump. They finally gain entry that we were talking about into this kind of bunker right side area here.
Yeah, and if I'm one pump right now, I'm just wanting to hunker down in this bunker and get the cap before we try and push. But looks like they don't have quite enough players in. Only one squad. They need more players than that. Maybe to take a little bit control of this mid area. If they can kind of push down this trench to the midway point, they're able to find some more success.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, we can see that Tom, he's alone by himself on this other side of the no man's land. I don't think, it does look like DiP has spotted him. Or maybe they haven't, I'm not sure. But Tom is going to push either way. Nice, very important kill by Smiley there on the Tom. What could have been a very dangerous push. But still, we see the typical dynamic of this trench line here on Aid, where the teams are kind of on opposite ends of the trench. The middle area is just a no man's land that neither team really wants to occupy.
Jackie pushing in though, goes down. He was doing work playing from that tank, but a couple of his teammates pushing up as well on this left side.
Tom Grump actually looking for the flank right
another
now.
Player are, yeah, they're 2 players from DiP are going to try to go for the flank here. Bojangles, they do get both kills.
Foothold still just in the mid though. If they clear this, they could get a chance.
It's a really tough position for one pump to fight from, being stuck in the middle. It's very hard to work out of. And Fjolnir is going to take 1 kill.
Fjolnir doing a good job trying to push left.
That's
he clears the left. Wow, great play by Fjolnir there.
And Luke House holding for the spawns.
That could be a very vital play. If he hadn't got those 2 frags there, they might have lost that foothold.
As we say that they're still being pushed from both sides. This position that one pump occupies is, well, very hard to hold under the circumstances in which they find themselves in, but Mando and Tom are going to do what they can to try to prevent DiP from clearing them out, but I don't even know where the foothold is anymore for one pump.
They're firmly securing the right-hand side for the central powers, and they clear them out by Jackie and Crimson Function trying to get them out. Successfully defended, and now it's their turn to attack.
Yeah, obviously great play from all of DiP there, but I do have to point out, I think the standout player here is Crimson Function, a rookie, fragging alongside the likes of Jackie, Bojangles, and Smiley.
Yeah, really I mean, just take a look. I mean, just take a look at the play from really the 4 standout players right now. We got Jackie, Smiley, Crimson, and Bojangles all in the same area. 15 kills, 17 kills, 16 kills. And yeah, again, I can't help but feel like one pump is very disorganized. The attack feels very staggered. again, I also saw Tom a lot of the time in the no man's land, just kind of sitting in the back, trying to pick, but wasn't able really to achieve much. And now DiP, they're looking to push this far right side.
Again, Crimson
they're already
Function clearing the right-hand side and now also the middle, making the way clear for his team to get into the far right side for the Central Powers.
Well, I think it's important to note that Crimson Function went, I think, 7th round, something like that. He's a very late pick, and he is playing extremely
well. And also
well.
notably, not only was it the draft position that he went into, but we have to remember that Crimson Function was actually originally drafted by Buff, but was traded to DiP in exchange for Rasputin. So I think that might be a very lopsided trade by the time this tournament comes to end.
Yeah, I mean that's maybe the danger of trading players where you don't quite know what their skill level is.
DiP, again, there's not much to say other than DiP is just killing everyone that they face. There's nothing that anyone on the one pump can seem to do about it right now. Jackie, Bojangles, Smiley, and Crimson just unstoppable, basically.
Yeah, and Emperor the only one on one pump right now with a positive KD. Everyone else just getting
He's the only player on
over
one
by.
pump as well who even has double digits. No one else from one pump has entered that yet. And again,
Meanwhile, we have 2 players on DiP over 20 now.
yeah, I mean, these 4 players on DiP really are just, they cannot be stopped.
This might be the warm-up thing, right? The DiP just coming out of a last match, and one pump had to wait an hour. Do you think this is warm-up difference?
Definitely could have an effect for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously,
I mean,
I'm sure
I
the
do
one
think-
pump players were playing during that downtime, probably either in rifle deathmatch or just in pubs. But it's not the same as playing in a comp match, even playing in pubs.
I do think it is an issue of warm-up, but again, I also think that this is I saw this against Rampage as well, and I'm seeing it here again. One pump just doesn't seem to have any organization. I don't know, I have to wonder what the comms and direction is like, but the play is just very disorganized. It's not really concerted where it should be, and it seems like routinely just, yeah, one pump's play is not where it should be.
Tom Grump is trying to get into the middle part here, getting 2-3 kills right now. If he kills, oh, he gets killed by Exoban right there. Very good kill by Exoban. 2 kills in a row. But it feels like Tom Grump was rather dangerous right there. Emperor following him up, continuing pressuring the middle section right now, as he's spawning all his squad mates right now. So this could be a big push in the middle.
I mean, yeah, and again, this is what we were talking about. Aid can be a very frag-heavy map, and look at that. Jackie already above 30 kills. Smiley falling close with 26, and Bojangles and Crimson 21 to 24.
Yeah, really just, I mean, it's almost like they're playing 4v8 right now, honestly. With Tio coming in with 10, but everyone else on the team with single-digit frags.
Well, Smiley actually getting a few very quick, nice kills as well in the open in the no man's land. They're just not. It feels like one pump doesn't have the chance to actually get a firm foothold into the trench, and they W too much. They need to get a few more kills or coordinate their attacks more, and then, well, pick a side basically. What they're doing right now is just keeps falling apart. I feel like they're playing like you should do playing in publics right now. And you just can't do that against people like Smiley and Jackie. They're completely picking you apart. And apparently, Crimson Function is very, very comfortable in this map as well, with 29 kills, leading third in the kill squad right now.
Yeah, well, this the big players, like I said, it was very possible the big players are stepping up on this map and showing just kind of the dynamic of Vayne. This is a map where big players can have big performances, and it's certainly holding true this match.
Tom Grump
Big
is now in the
counterattack
middle.
coming in. Yeah, big push here from one pump. They've actually cleared out the trench. Of
7
players.
people in, and they're capping really quickly. Tom Grump spots 4 players in the no man's land on the left-hand side, and gets 2 already.
They're able to get that cap
very good trade by Bojangles.
last minute off of a foothold too. That was good counterattack from DiP. Or not DiP, sorry, one pump. Maybe they can recover here. And some of their players starting to frag more. We see Tom Grump and Emperor both getting above 20 kills now.
Bojangles is actually looking to capture the mid right here, getting 1 kill, but Frosty disables him, and a lot of trades on the left-hand side right now. When the smoke clears up, one pump lost the left side right now, and the central powers are firmly in left.
Yeah, they've got over 2 minutes to make something work right now on this attack, whereas one pump really needs to clear them out.
Do you think they should be going for the clear out right now? I think they should chill out a little bit and get a few cracks and get everyone in the right side and then push when you have the airplane bombs. But it feels like they're just using their airplane bombs to get kills.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to push this far left side just because there's so many different spots that DiP can play from here. It's gonna be hard for them to push though. DiP is a little clumped up. If they can get a very good airplane bomb on that cart, they can get up like 5 kills right now.
Really
and there you go. Oh, it's Mendo actually committing suicide. I thought it was a big airplane bomb by someone else.
I would really like to see maybe one pump try to flank from the no man's land. Again, this very reminiscent of things I've seen in other matches. Doesn't seem like one pump likes to. They tried to flank from the no man's land a lot in their game against Rampage, but now they don't seem to want to do it at all. And they're taking head-on fights, but they're just not winning them.
Oh, it feels like they're stalling a little bit of time.
This can be a harder map to do those flanks on, especially since the no man's is so open, not a lot of cover. Maybe they're just deciding that it's not worth the risk.
Cap does come back in for DiP though, so that is.
No, DiP is just hitting all their shots, and one pump is missing more than they are hitting. So it's.
Yeah, that's just a mistake from one pump when the other team is capping like that. You just have to stop peeking them, and they just kept peeking and lost players, and one of them kept faster.
This falls in line with some of the more aggressive tactics I've seen out of one pump. It's very strange. I don't know. I don't understand the aggression that we see out of them half the time. It just doesn't make sense in most of the situations. I have to wonder who is calling or leading the team, but yeah, the direction and the approach the team takes most of the time is just confusing.
It feels like they're either not communicating or communicating too much, and they're playing like you would in the publics. I am seeing some weird things, like shots not connecting and things like that. Do you guys have any confirmation that it's... do you say the same thing or not?
I definitely noticed that a little bit in my matches. I think the servers have been a little weird the last couple days. I think a lot of people have noticed that, but not much we can do about it. It applies the same to everyone, so it's, mostly fair.
Let's go.
Raise up to H.
H in the chat. Jackie actually killing everyone from the mid side here. It's ridiculous. I think he got already like 12 kills on that spot. He almost got killed by an airplane bomb there, but
Jackie almost already at 50, and I mean it's the next closest on one pump is 31, but it's just not even close.
I mean, Jackie has, Jackie's just doing insane. Yeah. He has almost more kills than like one of the entire squads in one pump has. So.
At this moment, DiP doesn't have to do anything, right? They can just chill, wait until the 30-second mark or something, and then start getting them out of the trench. I bet you, they're just saving up all the airplane bombs, using them at once, and then clearing them out.
Now, Emperor is going to commence a push. He is very close now to most of DiP's team. Let's see if he can do anything.
Yeah, this is the best
get one kill
so far from one pump.
He gets one.
Really nice kills coming out of one pump as they are able to isolate and approach on the position of DiP, and they do get the cap back.
Oh, he misses that shot. A very vital shot that would have been.
Yeah, I also think if I'm one pump right now, I'm just saying we have to play for a tie. This is a CP-sided map. If we can get a tie, we can maybe win by a trench on that CP side. Like that's what I'm saying. If I'm one pump right now, that is worth considering. That even a tie for them, they might be able to bring it back in the second half and get a win.
I definitely don't disagree, but I do think it is, in my personal opinion, having played this map quite a bit in comp, I do feel like, well, this is technically a CP-sided map. I think that first on-taunt attack is, if you play for the tie, I think you're just asking to. Well,
I don't think you want to play from the tie from the beginning, but at this point, they are.
Oh yes, with 10 minutes left, it is worth considering, but either way, I don't really care what one pump does. All I can say about it is what they've been doing isn't working. I mean, when you're just feeding one player 60 kills, I mean, that's just... Obviously something is going very wrong.
But that's saying they are having a slight success on the left side right now. I believe there's only one guy in there, spawning a few of its mates. So if they push really quickly, they could overwhelm them. Emperor is actually doing that, going to the far left, doing this, making the same mistake behind the cart against Smiley right there. Same thing. But
it does feel like one pump is able to get close, but they never are able to fully clear, and then we just go back to the same dynamic.
It just seems like they're also just pushing one at a time rather than pushing together and not getting those trades. It just seems to be what's happening. It looks like they're just not working together the way they need to be. Which, you know, maybe not what you'd expect from such a veteran team of players. I mean, there's only one player on this team that doesn't have competitive experience. So
you can actually see Smiley and Jackie being...
I guess two players.
You can actually see Smiley and Jackie be very confident, just pushing and just killing and just peeking and shooting everything they can see and hitting everything. I think that's the most important part, of course. But you can see that that DiP is so confident in their place, and I think that helps as well. I mean, look at Jackie at the hay bale right now. He's just peeking everything, shoots one guy, gets killed by Emperor, but that's fair.
I mean, I mean, it doesn't even matter. Jackie's already on 65 kills, and there's still 8 minutes left in the game. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Though, by the kill of Jackie on the left side by Emperor, he opens up the whole the left side now, but he gets taken down by Smiley again. Smiley is just the anti-matter, the anti-Emperor right now. Killing Emperor each and every time is a good play. Go on.
Speaking of Emperor, I do think it's worth noting that, you know, maybe the reason we're not seeing him have as much of a standout performance as you might expect is that he has not played competitive Verdun for basically the past month, as he's been having serious issues with his internet that he only recently got fixed. So that may be part of the reason why he's a little rusty in these comp games.
It'd definitely be a factor worth considering. But that said...
But I mean, regardless, I mean, this is one pump team. After this, you know, they're just going to have to talk about what they're doing and figure out what's going wrong. They're gonna have to change some things for tomorrow, I think, regardless. Even if they are able to come back and win this match, I mean, there's definitely some things that you just don't want to be seeing from such an experienced comp team with such experienced players.
Yeah, I mean, one pump's definitely gonna have to hone it in. Yeah, and right now the story really just simply is, I think, just the standout players for DiP.
And DiP just captured
doesn't seem to have an answer for the frags.
And they just captured the defense, right? So DiP is on the defense for their with one French ahead.
Well, and we have to see that it's just completely cleared. One pump completely out of this trench now. They're going to have to come back on the attack. We have not seen great success from them.
We haven't actually seen a proper clear. It's always been at least one pump a little close, and they probably will get entry into this far right side.
Yeah, they do, off of actually a foothold there that I couldn't quite see. He was hiding under the tree.
Wasn't a full clear, but so that is at least big for one pump, but still, their ability to hold it is highly questionable.
They do have this advantageous left side, though. I do think this left side is generally better than the right side, so maybe they can make some plays from here.
They are capping the trench. Got 7 players in, but some kills coming back for DiP with Jackie and Smiley, each getting 1 apiece. Now, also a question starts to form: does DiP play to push on, or with 5-6 minutes left, do they just try to make sure that they take this half?
There's one pump. No, there's a lot of people on their right.
It's weird. They do have a lot of people looking nomads. Interesting. I guess they're just worried about getting pushed from that flank, and there is one player out there, so maybe that's why. But yeah, if I'm DiP at this point, I'm just saying, all right, we're going to be happy coming out 1 ahead here if we can, you know, stop them from capping the trench. That's what I'm going to be playing for. And it looks like they're doing a good job of that so far, just playing on that right side, getting their players in. They're like, we don't have to push. We can just pick them off from these advantageous angles and let them try and push us.
They're just pushing very aggressively into them. I don't know if
Jackie can kill this. Sadly, Jackie is across Emperor and gets killed there. Sorry,
and 4 kills coming in from DiP or from one pump there. Looks like they might get the cap in here, but they don't have that many players in the trench. Where's the rest of their team?
They have 6 players in the trench right now. Everyone is behind, and they actually successfully capture this trench. And Tom Grump instantly looks for everyone in the no man's land, but everyone is still in this trench from the opposite team, right?
Sure goes for a nice
4
push. He
players
does
on the
take 2
right
players
side.
down.
And one pump able to clear out this trench for the first time since DiP were able to attack right at the beginning.
That's actually huge. That's very big. What they did is retake this trench when they were 1 behind, which is very, very hard, especially in this map, right?
That is a big recap, and more importantly, not just the recap, but the full clear now puts one pump in a position to actually have a nice defense. And if they can defend this cleanly, it's not out of the realm of possibility for them to actually come back and cap with a minute left in the game. It is actually possible if they can attack fast enough, if they defend this cleanly.
I feel like One Pump is finally a little bit warmed up after 20 minutes in this map, and they're starting to play a little bit better, but only because of individual performance, not so because of team play. I think there's a lot of potential for One Pump right there, but let's see if it's enough to hold this attack.
Yeah, Bojangles whiffing a couple shots, does finally take down Frosty.
I will say
we're actually pushing out when he's able to spawn everyone in. That's a big blunder by Monoliter. Because of that, Tom Grump and Emperor and Frosty are all in the open right now and getting picked up. So this could be the loss of the trench again.
Yeah, and when we saw one dump clearing that, or not one dump, one pump clearing that trench, one pump clearing that trench. When we saw one pump clearing that trench, they were actually playing well together and playing together as a team. But then on defense, they seem to spread out a little bit too much and just get cleared out 1 by 1. So they need to recover from that. Playing together again now, but they're all clustered on that right side. They need to be a little worried about an airplane bomb coming in and just taking all of them out.
Well, you renamed One Pump. Interestingly, the DiP was able to retake the trench in a 4-3 lead right now, but it looks like One Pump is able to recap this trench again in a 4-4 stance. Let's see if they can do it.
And now for One Pump, it's just a matter of trying to get the tie. At least go into the second half tied, but
I mean, if they can tie, they do have a chance in the second half.
yeah, this is not, definitely not an unwinnable position at all for One Pump. But it is my opinion that when with the half they've had here, that I would expect DiP to come out of the gates on the next half of the attack and just push One Pump back.
One Pump needs to hold for 2 minutes more and not lose the trench again, because that would be very, very scary. Only a few minutes on the clock, but 2 minutes, that's their timer, and they need to hold on. If they can clear them out right now, they have a significant high chance to just keep it. Only Crimson Function alive in this trench. Reloading, and there you go. Tom Grump kills the last kill guy in the trench, and he resets one DiP completely.
Now, it's very important for One Pump here that they're able to pull off the tie.
I think for One Pump's confidence, it is absolutely critical to this match that they get the tie and don't lose their line in the next minute and a half.
But I mean, look at Jackie, 84 and 24. That's just insane. You don't see performances like that in comp matches very often.
84 is ridiculous.
No, especially when, I mean, again, there are some inexperience on One Pump, but I mean, we also have to concede that there are some very notable players as well in Tom, Emperor, and Monoliter. I mean, so the performance is insane.
Well, I like to see that almost everyone is stepping up, actually, because a lot of people are above 50 kills, which is subnormal. Which is abnormal. I mean,
now DiP is capping the gain entry into this other side, and there's 50 seconds on the clock. If they can get the cap, they will win this half.
One Pump needs to be very, very, very careful to not lose it.
One Pump just has to be passive, not play aggressively.
And they're doing that right now. Good call coming in from now.
The right call coming in for One Pump in this situation. But again, you still see some of the peaks come in, which is just don't understand it.
This time Tom Grump wins and he gets 4 kills, so then it's not even debatable. That was a good push, but it's so dangerous.
I mean, it really is debatable. It works out for Tom, but really debatable whether he can even be peaking there.
Another kill. That's on 8 kills, 9 kills already. He is in his element finally. He has warmed up. He has come to this match and makes it so that One Pump is able to make this a draw. instead
If
of
he
a
can carry
victory.
that confidence into the second half, maybe we can see a comeback here from one pump. I mean, it is a tie, but just based off the play we saw, especially in like the first like 3/4 of the match, I'm definitely giving that half to DiP.
But seriously, look at the amount of kills. I knew this was a frag heavy map, but 66 kills for Tom Grom, 51 for Emperor, 87 for Jackie, and 59 for Smiley. That's an insane amount. Normally, only one guy gets 60 kills.
Obviously, a lot of respect deserved for Crimson, a very inexperienced player who dropped 58 kills.
There you go.
I think that's his maybe
it's
second
important
top
to
game
consider.
ever, so that's
Second
definitely...
competitive game ever. 59 kills.
Yeah, please
That is
clap.
impressive.
Please clap.
Please clap.
Clap Crimson in chat, guys. All right. Well, that was an intense match.
Yes, it was. It was. It'll be interesting to see how the second half goes here.
Do you guys have any predictions?
It's hard to say because
I'm of the opinion that DiP is going to win this half decisively with the opening attack.
It's interesting because I do feel like we saw One Pump come alive there a little bit at the end to see a little bit better team play from them. If they can frag this half and get a little bit better team play, see some better performances from Emperor and Tom. Mando had a pretty quiet half that first half as well. If he can come out and play a little bit better than he's been playing, it's definitely possible for One Pump to either tie this half or come out. I mean, I don't think a tie is out of the question here. What do you think, Zab?
I don't think it's out of the question at all. I mean, it is certainly within the realm of possibility that, if One Pump can harness some of the momentum they had at the end of that game, particularly you see Tom getting like 10 kills in the last minute, then they certainly have a chance. My concern is that if DiP can get a fast foothold, if they can get some fast entries, then it will just fall apart. I think One Pump needs a clean defense. They need to just shut DiP's opening push down and kind of keep their confidence, keep that nerve going into this half. And if they can do that, then I think things will just very quickly spiral out of control, and it'll just be DiP that takes over, particularly Jackie. I mean, obviously 90 kills last half, or 87.
Ridiculous.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if they allow the DiP players to get in early in this game, then I think it's over.
Yeah, if DiP can play as confident as they were doing the whole match just now, I feel like they're winning. But I agree with you, Zap, that a lot is coming down to the first push. If they're going to get a nice foothold in the right hand side, which they're going to attack, it's all going to get down on how One Pump is going to react to that attack right there. And if One Pump loses the first trench, I think it's done. I think they will never be able to recover, because I think for the German sides, this map changes when you lose your first trench. If you really lose your first trench, it is an Anzali favorite map completely. Do you guys agree or not?
Oh, absolutely, 100% agree. If you lose that first trench, it's extremely difficult to retake, especially if you don't have any footholds. Pushing all the way from that no man's, there is kind of some tree soft cover, but hard cover is basically non-existent. It's very hard. You're pushing uphill most of the way. It's just very hard to retake this trench with CP.
So it's all going to go down in the first 5 minutes of this match.
Yeah,
I feel like
I would say the opening defense kind of determines the outcome of this game. I think One Pump, again, if One Pump can get their opening defense, then I think suddenly we have a whole new game on our hands. But if DiP is allowed really anything, then I just expect them to win.
All right, UDU, and open this match as well, man.
And here we go, the second half of DiP versus One Pump. DiP with a huge opportunity to attack first this half. We'll see what they do.
It looks like they are splitting off one player to the left-hand side, and the rest is going in no man's land directly to the right-hand side. And it's going to be very important that Jackie and the guys who stay behind are getting some long-range kills.
See a very fast push from DiP. And not a lot of kills coming the way from DiP. One Pump, it's pretty equal right now.
Well, Bonjalos gets a really important kill on the right-hand side there. And if he
player for it, but still not able to get a foothold in there. They've got close on right, but you can get close on this right, and it can still be hard to get in.
Spawns. I don't think this push on this far left side for DiP could be huge.
Oh yeah, it could. There's only well, they have a couple. They have 3 players over there. If they can spot this, can make some success on defending it.
One of the
a
DiP
little
players
close.
is getting really close to the right-hand
Nice
side.
kill by Smiley on Emperor, and another kill
Big
on the
play
top.
from Smiley.
Two huge kills by Smiley, looking to get the third onto the middle position. Having some trouble with the prone player, does finally take him down. And Bojangles also in, and this is exactly what I talked about.
He kills another one, so this opens up the whole left side, right?
Those opening kills by
Yeah, I mean-
Smiley are absolutely huge, and there's only one
This-
player in from one pump.
And just
They're
what-
still not
like
quite
you
in the
warned.
fort though. They could get cleared out here if they don't put up a good defense. Good push coming in from one pump, but most of them are going to go down.
They're not looking at Smiley, the Smiley's position, and he's killing everyone. Actually, they are already captured the German trench, and this is very dangerous for one pump. They need to capture it in the next 3 minutes, and if they can't, if DiP is able to defend this
Just
trench,
completely cleared the trench. They also were pushing on the right
There
side.
are
at
some
the
DiP
same
players
time.
in the middle of the trench, but I mean that was.
I mean,
or
look at
one
the
pump players,
and
but
they get
that
spotted by
position is
Smiley
really
on the
hard
right
to work
side.
out of. And now,
Yeah, I mean, this is just a lost. This is just a lost trench for one pump.
Already
this is
this-
going to be very
yeah.
hard for them.
already this is a very damning position to be in if you're one pump. I mean, DiP wipes you completely, and now they look to have a very solid hold.
Smiley already on 8 kills and 0 deaths, and I mean that's what he did on the left-hand side. He killed 8 people, just walked in the mid, and they captured this trench.
Yeah, those openings
Also
by
interesting
Smiley
to
were
note-
absolutely huge.
And 7 kills from Axobone already. A little bit quiet that first half. Maybe he's going to pop off the second half.
Someone stepping up, and really no one on one pump having a notable performance so far. Ironically, it's Sheena, a new player, who's leading the way with 3 kills. And everyone else pretty quiet.
Couple kills coming in for one pump here, making a good push on this middle section, but even getting in there, they're going to have a crossfire on them as soon as they get in.
Emperor and several other players do get in this left side. If they can get a nice crossfire going, maybe Emperor can get some picks. It could be huge, and we do see that one pump is capping. It's going to be very hard for them to maintain the cap. If we can watch
Good.
Tom Grump here, Tom might be in a position to do something about this. I don't. I think that's a bit of a blunder by Tom to shoot the player, gives away his position, and now one pump well aware of
Good
the fact.
distract coming in on the left side, though, from some of these players in the no man's.
Emperor actually stepping up on the left side, breaking open the left side for the CP, and making sure that every one of his squad is able to spawn in there. So, very good plays by Emperor on the left side now. But we're waiting for the right to fall for one pump in order to retake this trench, and they have 1 minute to do it.
Good play here. Good play here from DiP, just sending some players into the no man's, harass these people on the right, make sure they can't focus on those long range peaks.
It is good play from DiP. They continue. They pressure both sides. They got the crossfire and they harass them from the no man's. One pump not really allowed to breathe.
DiP doesn't see the push on the left-hand side for the Ontari, and they're losing this trench fast. So they need to watch
yes.
the left side.
Bojangles comes behind and just clears out that foothold, but they do take the left side in the meantime.
Yeah, kind of trading sides here. And it's very unfortunate for one pump that they weren't able to maintain control of both, because the spawns will come in for DiP.
Tom Grump has a very good position in order to defend
There's
this
also
middle
a
section.
possible flank coming in from DiP on these one pump players. Crimson gonna take one. Now one pump.
Tom Grump can't attack. Tom Grump keeps attacking when all of his squad mates are dead, and if he kept lying down there, he was able to spawn in all his squad mates.
A really
but now
good-
they're losing the trench.
Excellent flank from DiP there. They simultaneously pressured the right side that one pump occupied, and just yeah.
One pump able to clear out that left side though, get some control of that
They still
fort.
hold it, which is fortunate. They're also they are on foothold, so they do have to be very careful they don't get cleared here. But they have made good progress on the cap. But basically all of DiP is on the opposite end as well.
So this is very precarious for one pump. If they lose other players, and there's only 2 players in the trench, or 3 players in the trench left, then they lose the foothold and they have to start over all again. But then again, 5 kills more for one pump in order to get more time to attack.
And good push coming in here from one pump. They clear out the middle. They're going to have some trouble clearing out that right side, though. It's hard to get across this middle. might want to see some of them pushing in the no mans. We don't really see much of that though. It seems like they like to play in the trench. They're not really doing those flanks. Maybe feeling like that didn't work out for them on Vaj. They're just avoiding it this game. But I feel like it
Nice
could
kill
be
from
something that
Mono.
could work out for them.
The cap should come in for one pump.
No, that's the
It doesn't.
closest.
Dip. Jackie gets free kills, and then the spawns come in for Dip, and that prevents the cap. So
That was
seven players from Dip, and all the kills seem to go the way of Dip here.
I was
Well,
so
I mean,
sure that was going to be a cap.
Tom Grump being able to keep pace with Jackie here, but unfortunately the rest of his team not being able to keep pace with Smiley, Axelbun, and Crimson.
Yeah, I mean, we
We're
see
all having
Tom
a very
Grump
good game.
keeping pace of Jackie, the leader now. 20 kills apiece, but really the next closest is Emperor, who still stuck at 12 kills.
Jam
now.
actually with a big flank on the left side, and if he can, oh, he got spotted by Crimson there. Tom Grump. Sorry.
And we're really seeing Dip utilize the No Man's Land a lot more. This is kind of what I was saying. Would have liked to have seen more from one pump. Dip with the pressure for the No Man's Land, and yeah, but it seems to be working out very well.
Yeah, Dip having great play with flanks and lurking players and just getting those spawns behind the enemy team. Just great team play from them.
Yeah, again, not really. Yeah, the fragging power of one pump seeming to be letting them down. Sheena with 2 stabs, nice stabs, and then and actually 3 stabs.
Emperor actually with the in the middle right now, and they're capping this trench really quickly. This is going to be the equalizer finally. They once got really close, but now they finally equalized it, and there's a little bit of a
actually
calmness.
a huge play from Sheena. Clear on that right side.
The stab play, able to take down 3 people, it allows.
That's the
allowing
trench
her team
cleared
to
out.
cap.
Allowing them to cap. There's a close push here on the right side though, and it's completely empty. What happened to the players on the right side? There's only one player there.
And now Yam looking to flank. He does take down 1. He's gonna get a nice kill from Emperor to protect his teammate, but still, Jackie's in middle. Crimson pressuring. Yeah, one pump's being pressured on all sides, and they've only got 2 players in the trench. So, just like that, everything falls apart for them.
Yeah,
I think the other thing
so
that's worth
great
noting
for them.
here in this half, in this half already is if we just look at the scoreboard, we can see that this isn't just strictly Jackie or Bojangles, Smiley, or Crimson. You know, we see Axelbun's having a nice game as well. He's on 20 kills. He's really stepped up this half. Kills are a lot more equal in this half for Dip.
Definitely a more balanced half for them than maybe the first half. Especially as seeing Axelbun step up. He was maybe a little bit quiet in that first half.
Dip is finally is recapping this trench a little bit, slowly but surely. More people in the trench, but they have the far right position. I feel like one of these days there's going to be an airplane bomb, and a lot of Dip is going to die.
Well, do you think that if Dip can pull out a tie here?
I called it cheeky. 2 kills.
The quad airplane bomb.
4 kills.
The quad. There you go.
Wow, that's a big play. Do you think that if one pump can pull out a tie in this match, that's going to be a moral victory for them? What do you think, Zeb?
Well, I think of the way they've played today, if they can avoid losing, that would be. And I think they'll take that at this point. This has not been a good day at all for them. But if you're Dip, you know, you want that win.
Yeah, I mean, with your Dip, you've been on the attack the whole game, both first and second half, and it would just feel really, really demoralizing to end with the tie after such an aggressive game and having the lead so many times.
I mean, I think the story is if Dip gets the tie, they're not going to feel good about that, and if one pump can get the tie, that might make them feel a lot better about going into day 2, at least not being 0-2.
Yeah, not knowing that they're not the bottom team, that they're at least tied with one other team.
As I say this, Dip, one pump's defense has really come together here. I mean, you have Snow in this other side, but still, Dip's attack kind of sputtering out here a little bit in the last minute of their attack.
I mean, the team kind of rallying behind that airplane bomb from Mando. We've seen in the past that getting those big kills can kind of demoralize the other team a little bit when they feel like maybe, you know, they just got unlucky with the other team getting a good airplane bomb. Maybe hurt them a little bit, and one pump
Smiley gonna try to enter in the middle, and then some more big
Jackie's
push
on the far
coming
left.
in from Dip. A big push coming in from Dip here. No one there to answer it from one pump. Pump kind of in a bit of a really dangerous position right now as
They gave away the far left, and this could actually be very, very bad for... All the kills are going in favor of DiP. 4 kills as well, just as important as the airplane bomb. And
one pump is not able to spawn in the trench. They're going to be in the no man's. That cap's going to come in very quickly, and I think maybe a bit of an over-rotation. One pump knew that there was a player, and it's like they sent basically everyone to deal with one guy, left the other side open, and then DiP was like, thank you very much, we're gonna take that.
It just seems like every time DiP pushes, they're able to full squad wipe one pump. One pump is not leaving those players behind to get those spawns in the trench. It seems like every time they're pushing from the no man's.
I mean, again, I think we're seeing some of the issues with perhaps direction and communication from one pump. That over-rotation definitely just screams that.
Well, it's interesting because, I mean, we have 3 people who've led clans on this one pump team. We have Mando, Tom Grump, and Emperor all having led clans in the past. I mean, I think that you'd have some better calling on this team. I don't know if it's just all of them trying to call different things and the team conflicting, or I don't know what's going on. Maybe we just have too many leaders in this team. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either, but we talked about the kills. It is worth noting that Jackie about to hit 40, Axabun hitting 30, so Axabun was pretty quiet last game, but now you see him really stepping up this game.
Especially in the last few minutes, because Jackie wasn't doing that well. He was on 25 kills just a few minutes ago.
Jackie's also really opened up his score in the last couple minutes. But with that said, one pump is starting to recap, but again, as time continues to wind down, they need to pick up the pace. They need to get something going here. They can't.
Well, this was always going to be advantageous.
They've been on the defense this entire game.
This is always going to be advantageous for DiP because all they need to do is get the cap in the last couple minutes. Since they're the ones on the offensive.
This back and forth trading just inherently favors DiP, to your point. So one pump needs to find a way to try to stabilize this game, try to actually get an attack, and not just be on this defensive cycle that they're constantly on.
And another good airplane bomb comes in from Mando, picks up a kill.
Mando's starting to step up his game a little bit. He's actually the second frag for one pump above Emperor.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. It's really not what you'd expect, but it's good to see him stepping up. They definitely need the frags to help them deal with this, but they also need to team play, so they need to work on both of those things.
As we can see now, the Anjali is firmly in the left side again, and the Central Powers are firmly on the right-hand side, just as you always see in this map. It's interesting
this cap is a 99. It's could go either way, but the kill from Mando is going to give the advantage back to one pump. Tom's gonna look for flanking in the no man's land. Again, he does this. He's been doing this a lot, but I have to question the tactic here. It just hasn't really worked out very well. Maybe if he can get the flank, it could be huge. DiP is not aware.
They're capping the trench again.
Yeah, there you go. Tom goes for a no man's flank, but he's not shooting anybody, and he's on inside the trench, and there you go. Just like that.
Put him down.
Same scenario.
Well, it's just hard to push there. I mean, Axelbone with a head glitch and Tom's full body exposed there. It's just hard for him to push.
Either way, one pump just doesn't really have an answer for what we're seeing. Their flanks aren't working. They can test head on. They can't win those gunfights.
Well, the same thing applies for DiP. They can't get him out of this trench, so it's really a stalemate between the DiP and one pump here.
Yeah, I do. Obviously, that is true. Although, with that said, I mean, if you're DiP, you don't even care. I mean, you're fine with this because you have the one trench lead. So the longer this goes on for you, the better.
Yeah, I mean, you're on the attack. They just have no chance of winning. Worst case scenario for you with DiP is a tie right now. I mean, as long as it keeps up this way. And obviously, I think they're going to feel like they have a good chance at a win because they just have to, like I said, they just have to get that last minute cap. They just have to capitalize on one mistake from one pump, and they've shown them plenty of mistakes throughout the half. So I think they're pretty comfortable that they can maybe
only
get
has
that
one player
again.
in the trench right now, so not really a great attack coming out from them.
And again, we see these DiP players flanking in the no man's, which is not something we've seen at all from one pump. And again, no one pump players looking towards the no man's as this player kind of creeps up on them.
Yeah, he's taking his time. I think he wants to see if he can maybe get more of a one kill.
He's gonna get spotted. Gonna be in a fight here. He's gonna go down to Mondo Wonder.
Good kill by Monoliter to prevent that flank.
But even this distraction and the paranoia is going to have impact on those gunfights at the long range. You know what I mean? Like those players are going to make sure that keeping them looking into that no man's and not looking at the other players. And big push here actually from one pump as Tom Grum pulls up in, and lots of kills coming in for one pump. Crimson, the last one left up here for DiP, and he's going to go down. Trades with Tom Grum.
And
that's
this is
clear
the
the
retake of the
trench.
German position.
I think the cap will come in for one pump. I don't think that DiP's going to be able to stop it.
Big, wow, massive spawn on the left for DiP. They're not going to be able to stop the cap, but they're going to be able to push in here and clear out this left side probably.
Yeah, they don't stop the cap, but again, can Emperor, can the players on this other flank prevent it? Emperor is doing a good job so far. He's got 2 kills. Can he get the third? His shot does get taken out by Smiley. Needed to probably get one more there. But he at least delayed.
But the reinforcements have arrived. He held them off long enough.
Delaying action might be enough.
Big fight in the forest here. Axelbun gonna win that fight with Mando, and it looks like they're gonna clear out this left side and have the forest controlled. Not to, maybe. Oh, and they do actually have that push in the mid as well, and they've mostly cleared the trench.
Every single player from DiP is back in the trench, and for one bump, they going for flanks from the No Man's. Monoliter does get 2 kills, can't quite get the third, but it might be enough to prevent the cap. I don't know. It's gonna be very close.
Actually, Ajax getting a few kills that are very important right now.
Those kills from Ajax might be they are the difference maker, and the spawns also come in. So
another big airplane bomb by Tom Grump. I feel like DiP is just too much packed together. They need to spread out a little bit more.
It's interesting because it's working to their advantage in the sense that they are always getting those trades, but also obviously losing some players to the airplane bombs. It is the downside of being pumped up, but there are positives as well, as it does help you win those gunfights. But I think they'll be willing to trade a few players here and there to those airplane bombs for having such a kill advantage, getting those trades. And Jackie just now hitting over 50 kills. Looks like he's not going to match his 87 kill game first half.
No, probably
but
not.
I think he'll be fine. I think
a lot more equal this game, but yeah, Jackie's still having a very solid performance.
I mean, I think we can say overall it's been a somewhat closer half, but not even by that much. I mean, obviously the first half very close. We ended in the tie. I mean, one pump is going to have to hope for that now. I mean, with only 7 minutes left, I don't think they have much of a chance. I mean, it is possible that they retake here and still get a chance to attack, but it just seems very unlikely given what we've seen so far.
Jackie actually advancing on the left-hand side to help defend it there. He needs to get a few kills on the mid-section in order to prevent it from falling to the Germans again. But this could fall either way. It's so close. The Germans did take it back. Jackie wasn't able to get any kills, but man,
I would say this is One Pump's last real opportunity, and a good one at that, to defend this line. They cleared out DiP completely. They've got a nice spread. But yeah,
and if they're able to defend this, at the 3-minute point, they will have a full attack phase to attack. So
they've had a really tough time defending One Pump's far right side. They've had a really tough time there. It doesn't look like it's going to be better this attack. There's really no one there for One Pump.
Well, I think they just need more players playing in the mid. They just haven't had anyone playing in the mid, and you can't really watch that far left side actually from the far left fort. You kind of have to watch it from the mid. And we just haven't really been seeing any mid control at all from...
We see the same story. 7 players from DiP are in.
But a lot of kills are going towards One Pump right now.
Tom Grum coming in and just clearing out the entire team.
He didn't spot Yam though. And I don't think they're aware that Yam is kind of prone here. He's done this a few times. Emperor's gonna take one, but okay, Yam did go down. The Emperor, which is important. Even if can actually hold this side.
Yeah, Emperor actually getting a few kills to get the power out of this attack.
But again, there's no one in mid for One Pump. They're just playing on the both flanks and leaving mid completely open, which leaves that left side open because they just can't defend it from the fort. They need to get the players playing in those mid sandbags and playing on that mid cart. Like, they just haven't had anyone playing there the whole game.
Well, DiP is focusing on the left-hand side, so this might actually pan out beneficial for one pump here, as they're firmly in the left-hand side. But
I mean, it seems like to me, and second this if you feel the same way as that, it seems like one pump, when they've been able to clear the trench, they just play 4 players right, 4 players left, and no one in mid, which just leaves those far flanks completely open as they have no crossfires. Am I wrong about this? It just seems like that's the big issue with their defense. Even when they're able to clear this, they're not able to keep it because they just don't have the spread.
I do think that having some players in the mid to get the crossfire on the right side would be beneficial, but they don't seem to like to do that. Particularly that mid-right sandbag position is very strong. They don't seem to play it very much. They instead only put players on the deep far right, which is a pretty exposed position. And then we get the same thing we've had for basically the entire game, where DiP is going to get the cap. And now, with only 4 minutes left, this is only a matter of will DiP win or will the game end at the time.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah, it's either going to be a tie or it's going to be one for DiP. There's no chance for one pump to win here now. They've been on the defense the entire game.
One pump is going to retake this trench, though.
Just like that, some really nice quick kills for one pump.
Yeah, one pump is looking at a. By the way, Zep, your microphone is a bit low. One pump is looking for an equalizer, or if they lose this trench again, it's going to be very hard for them to retake it.
Yeah.
So everything is on the line for one pump, and only well, everything is still on the line.
No, DiP still has a very good opportunity. I mean, they've got 5 caps on this trench line, so there's nothing stopping them from getting a 6, or even at this rate 7. And a 4 airplane bomb kill from Jackie is going to open things up for DiP.
Yeah, that's not a good sign for one pump here, as only one player now and against the barrage. They're kind of slow down a little bit.
Right side does get isolated by Jackie, and DiP is they're flooding in now.
And the cap has begun as only 2 players in, and they're going to both.
All the kills are going for DiP. All the kills are going for DiP.
And
so
they're going to spawn to the no man's land. This cap is going to come in.
So this is extremely difficult for one pump now to stabilize and retake this trench. They need to step up and retake this trench, otherwise it's a complete loss.
All DiP has to do is just hold those angles and not die, and prevent that cap from coming in.
Yeah, if you put it like that, it's very easy, but I wouldn't be able to do that against Jackie shooting from across the map constantly. It's hard against hard. It's lovely to see.
Yeah, both teams now just want to hunker down. Neither team really wants to be aggressive here.
DiP is getting capped. The kills are going the way of one pump.
Yeah, and maybe DiP just being a little too aggressive. There are a couple players going down to airplane bombs. They still have.
Zin is going to try to hold in the middle to play for the spawns. He's going to get one. A cheeky shot on the Tom, who was prone behind the rock. He saw his foot and took him down.
Jackie with a nice headshot from the.
And a good push coming here on the right from DiP to prevent the cap from coming in.
You can see that some of these one pump players are isolated all the way in the back because they couldn't get spawns. Mondelier and one of the other NCOs stuck in the no man's. A bunch of players from one pump are stuck in no man's. Now there's only 2 players for one pump. Only Mando actually left in the trench, and the recap coming in very fast.
I must say, I do think DiP is being a little over aggressive here. I saw Jackie run out of the trench there for a second and kill. These players just need to sit in the trench, go prone, crouch, hold an angle. If you're DiP, you do not want to give up this win.
Now, final minute on the clock. It's going to come down to this.
Emperor with a nice flank on the left-hand side with his teammates and actually securing the left side right now. That's really important. And he is able to spawn in all his teammates right now. If he doesn't get killed by the airplane.
Why the DiP players are peeking right now? They should.
Against the cap.
I don't know why Jackie is peeking. He should not be peeking right now.
I don't get why Emperor was peeking. He didn't spawn all his mates. He had literally 3 spawns in his squad, and he still pushed and he died. So this is why they lose his trench.
That is going to be it. It's just Sheena left.
Well, maybe he can get. Nobody knows he's here, so he might be able to clear out the right hand side, getting a few nice step kills. Another one, 4 kills for Sheena right there. This could be the recap.
Not enough time on the clock.
Yeah, with only 14
seconds
seconds
coming on the opposite end. That's going to do it. DiP is going to take this game 6-5.
You have to ask why Emperor peeked there. You really do.
He shouldn't have. Maybe they weren't able to spawn on him, but then he should have run the opposite side instead of pushing forward. I think that was the move that gave away this round. But in the end, it was very, very close and a very, very close match between those.
Very high scoring game.
Yeah, still very close indeed. But it is going to be DiP that takes the win. And again, Jackie, 70 kills, decisively the top player in this match, both halves. Tom leading his team with 59, and a nice even spread among these 4 players: Smiley, Bojangles, Axelbun, and Crimson, all kind of in the 40 range. Really, really nice stuff to see.
I mean, I'm Jackie with over 150 kills between the 2 halves. That's insane.
Yeah, that sums up AIM. That is what we said could happen, and it definitely did.